Hey guys, Matthew here. So today I'll be starting up a new series called BTB, which stands for Back to Basic. It's going to be basically a series of rather short videos where I'll be going over different methods of making currency in the game that you can add on top of what you're already doing just to min-max a little bit more currency. So say, in a play session you make 5 exalts or something, running maps or lab or whatever it is. Then doing these little methods, maybe you'll make an extra, one or two or three or maybe even 5 exalts within that same play session every single time. So it's basically going to be little things that I've found out while playing the game over the years, and also if you guys have any ideas and you'd like me to make a video about that idea, be sure to let me know in the comment. And if I do pick one of those ideas to make a video about it, I will give you all the credit for that idea, obviously. So basically, they're not necessarily going to be very complicated things, as the title of the series, Back to Basics. It's going to be more like not necessarily beginner things, but things that a lot of people overlook that can actually net you a decent amount of currency if you do it pretty consistently. Some of these methods will be a little bit more complicated, but on a video-to-video basis, I'll try to keep it short and I'll try to keep it very simple as can be. So in this particular episode number 1, I'll be talking about faded uniques. So basically, a faded unique is a unique item in the game that you can turn into or transform into an upgraded version of that same item while doing a required kill, basically, with the prophecy active. So obviously I'm not going to go over every single one of them. There's a ton of them, and it's going to be your own job to go in through and look at the ones that are actually profitable, the ones that are worth doing, and things of that nature. But for this video, I want to talk about just the Hyri's Bite into Hyri's Demise. So for example, a Hyri's Bite right now in Blight is a chaos, right? Then, to turn it into a Hyri's Demise, you're going to need the dishonorable death, and you're going to have to kill the dishonored queen in the mudflats of Act 6 while holding it in your inventory. You don't need it, on your actual character. So let's go with this example. Hyri's Bite, 1 chaos. Hyri's Demise, around the 80 chaos mark, 88, 90, whatever. So let's 80 to 90 chaos. The Prophecy, 70 chaos. So if we do that pretty simple math here, we have 1 chaos plus 70 chaos, so we're looking at 71 chaos investment. And the payout is 80, and it goes to 90 pretty quickly, 90 chaos. So fair to say that every time you turn one of these into one of these, you've made yourself about 20 chaos. But now let's kick it up a notch. The thing about faded uniques is that the rolls on them certain matter. So any roll on a faded unique that stays the same on its faded version will actually stay the same when you upgrade it, basically. So for example, what I mean by that is on Hyri's Bite, you have attack speed 7 to 10%, right? And on Hyri's Demise, you have attack speed 7 to 10%, which means if I upgrade via the Prophecy my Hyri's Bite that has 10% attack speed, it's also going to have 10% attack speed on the Hyri's Demise. And this is pretty important because that means you can snipe some perfect versions to change them into better, and also perfect version of the faded one, which, as you're about to see, will net you even more profit when doing so. Obviously, there are some rules on there. For example, you see like 15 to 25 strength, 35 to 45 dex, and 15 to 25 int. And on the Hyri's Demise, instead you have 15 to 30 all attributes. Those are different, obviously. So they will not carry over. Which means when you upgrade your Hyri's Bite to Hyri's Demise, even if it had like 10% attack speed and 3 life gain for each enemy hit, all these other mods, since they don't carry over to the Demise version, the 15 to 30 all attributes is going to be completely random. But nonetheless, let's actually go ahead and look. So if I turn on my stat filters of 10% attack speed and 3 life gained for each enemy hit by your attacks, as you can see, there are still 1 to 2 chaos for perfect rolls. Let's call them perfect because, as I said, these don't carry over, so they don't matter. So perfect rolls, 10, 3, 1 chaos, goes up to 2 chaos, 3 chaos, whatever it is. If I do the same thing with the higher demise version, 10 attack speed and 3 life gain for each enemy hit, as you can see, there's one for 88 chaos, one for 90 chaos, but all of a sudden it jumps to 120, 150, 2 exalts for, a very, very nice roll. This is a little bit overkill. That's probably never going to sell, and neither will this. And, well, this is a shaped version, so it's a different story. But basically, as you can see, there aren't that many available. There's only 12 available right now in Blight League. And the actual price is going to be around, this 120 chaos mark. So if we go back and say that we're paying these 1 to 2 chaos, let's just say 2 chaos, then we're buying the prophecies for still 70 chaos. We're looking at a 72 chaos investment, just like we were before, but instead of selling it for 90 and having like 18 to 20 chaos profit, we're selling it for 120 chaos, which is an extra 30 chaos, just because we sniped a good roll on the Hyri's Bite. Now, another thing that you can do also with these faded uniques, and obviously this isn't going to apply to every single one of them, but this being a quiver, since the implicit here, life gain for each enemy hit by our attacks scale, it does stack with this one here, so it's pretty nice, but it's not like a crazy good implicit, especially in softcore, because you can just die. That's not the biggest deal if you just die. So what's great about this is if you get a lesser roll, right? Because this all attributes, as I said, will change when you take it from a Hyri's Bite to a Hyri's Demise. This will change. So you might just be unlucky and end up with a 15 roll, which would be the worst possible roll. So what you can do at that point, if the item level of the quiver is item level 80, you can simply double corrupt it in a temple, and if you hit something like chain or bow, attacks, fire, and additional arrow, as you can see, by the way, I'm on standard right now because there's like pretty much none in Blight. This is double corrupted with lightning, so this is actually pretty good with chain. There's a chain one for 2 mirrors. These are not going to sell. This is just way too expensive. But if it had like chain and +1 arrow, 2 mirrors would actually be what it would be worth. That being said, the thing is, obviously, that's extremely rare. But the thing is, every time that you throw it into a temple and it gets corrupted, you're 100% guaranteed to have 2 implicits. And if either of these happen, chain or +1 arrow, for example in standard offline, you're looking at the very least 16 exalts, 20 exalts, 22 exalts, 25 exalts, and the ones that brick, they're still going to be sellable. So for example, I think I've corrupted no, but I could do corrupted any at this point, because your attack speed is still going to stay a very nice roll. As you can see, you lose some value since they're corrupted. Obviously they're not going to be worth as much because the people buying them don't have the opportunity to corrupt them themselves, but still you're going to make almost essentially all your money back just because it's a corrupted version. As you can see, 75 chaos, 65 chaos. Since the prophecy is costing you 70 and the quiver itself is costing you like a chaos or 2, if anything, you're losing 10 chaos, but at the price of having a chance to hit those like additional arrow or chains quiver that sell for an extremely high amount of currency compared to what you're investing into it. So that's basically it for the video. There's a bunch of others faded uniques that you guys are just gonna have to go in and look for yourself. I'm not here to just tell you guys do this, and that. I'm basically just out here giving you guys concepts and ideas, and then you guys need to do the proper research to figure out what's actually good and what's not necessarily that good, and go out and make some currency, because there are some little gold mines hidden in there, I can tell you that. Hyri's Bite into Hyri's Demise is one of them, actually. Especially very early in the league, you can net yourself on a perfect roll like half an exalt profit. Maybe not so much in this league and at this point in the league, but there's just things that you should keep in mind. Have some notes out for the future and stuff, and always keep an an eye out on those things and like whoop up the perfect rolls and pick them up when they're really cheap and stuff like that. And that's not only for the Harry's Bite, it's for a bunch of other ones in this list. So that's it for the first episodes of BTB, sorry. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you learned a little something. Before I leave, I want to say a huge thank you to my Patreons, Jose, Val, Goro, Francesco, Dante, ZzMastermind, Alex, Drool, MT, and Cory. You guys are awesome. And so are all of you guys for watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.